What's it like to have an eye condition that slowly takes away your vision over time? Hey there, for those of you who don't know who I am, if this is your first time here, my name is Juan Alcazar, and I'm going to talk about an eye condition that I have that's called Retinitis Pigmentosa. Now, in a nutshell, Retinitis Pigmentosa, or RP as we folks like to call it, it's basically a degenerative eye condition that slowly degrades the retina over time, resulting in a lot of sight loss and sometimes even complete sight loss. Just a quick disclaimer, this is just my experience with RP. Everyone has a different experience, so what I see isn't exactly what someone else with RP sees and vice versa. So I was born with low vision, I was born with bad vision, and I always used glasses from grade school up to college, and then in college I switched to contact lenses, but on both occasions they would never fully correct my vision to 20/20. From college afterwards, that's when the symptoms of the RP started really kicking in, and I noticed a lot of changes. Now basically what the retina is, it's a lining in the back of the eye consisting of what are called photoreceptor cells. These photoreceptor cells, what they do is they take the light that is brought in from your eye, they convert that light into electrical signals to the brain, and that results in, well, basically what you see in front of you. Now, these photoreceptor cells are divided into two groups, the rods and the cones, and they're called that because, well, they're kind of shaped like that. The rod cells line the outer part of the retina, and they are mainly responsible for, well, basically peripheral vision and light sensitivity. The rod cells tend to be the first ones affected by RP, not in all cases, but this is why a lot of times the first symptoms of RP are night blindness or having trouble seeing in low light and poor peripheral vision. Night blindness has been a problem for me since I was a teenager. One time I was asked to go see a meteor shower with my family, and I had trouble seeing anything. I couldn't see any meteors at all, and every time my parents or brother kept saying like, oh, there's one right there, there's one right there, I couldn't see it. Another example is if I line up two dark shirts and they're different colors and there is a decent amount of light, I might still have problems seeing what color they are because they just look almost the exact same shade of, well, black, even though they might not be black. I have to go out with my cane when I'm out at night. Most people describe the loss of peripheral vision as tunnel vision, but for me, it doesn't look like that. Instead, what I see, I can see the full peripheral around me, but with many blind spots. So if I drop something, if I just move something out of the way, I might lose it completely until I'm looking at it directly. My brain has an idea of what the surroundings are, but just all the details are not there, especially if it's a small object and it just happens to be moved a small distance away. And also in the visual field test, when I went to get my eyes checked and they tell you to look through this visor and click the button whenever you see like a dot being flashed around, I could never see them. I saw a few of them that were near the middle, but other than that, it was problematic for me. As RP progresses later on, the cone cells start becoming affected, and the cone cells are basically responsible for visual acuity, aka how much detail and sharpness you can see, as well as how well you see colors. Once RP progresses, a lot of the later symptoms are loss in visual acuity, you start seeing less and less, as well as you start losing your color vision. I haven't gotten to the point where I can't see colors, but I am noticing my visual acuity going down even more. It's gotten to the point where I've gone from being able to see decently with both eyes to my right eye not being able to see much at all. So basically I'm seeing for the most part out of my left eye. The right eye is mainly just there going along for the ride. If you compare a healthy retina to a retina affected with RP, the healthy retina looks something, I don't know, maybe like a piece of fruit, like a peach, while the affected retina has many dark spots, many pigmented spots, hence that's why I got the name Retinitis Pigmentosa. For some people, RP progresses very fast. For some people, it progresses very slow. For me, it was a kind of an in-the-middle thing, and it was a bit frightening to notice that I couldn't see well out of one eye anymore because I could see well just a few years ago, and yeah, it was a bit jarring. And like I said, it's a different experience for different people. To be perfectly honest, I don't know how my vision will stay over the rest of my lifetime. And this is why it's also difficult to find a cure for it. Actually, there is no cure for RP. There's several clinical trials, there's several experimental treatments, there's a lot of research going into it, but the reason why it's so difficult to find a cure is because there's so many different types. I believe there are about 100 or even more types of RP. You don't know which type you have until you get genetic testing done. Other symptoms because of RP that can happen, which happened to me, are photophobia, which is basically light sensitivity. If I go outside, I have to wear sunglasses over my regular glasses, and just any normal light looks a little brighter to me. And just looking at a computer with a white background, if the web page is with a white background, it's blinding to me, no pun intended. A few other things I've noticed are these flashing lights in the form of white crescent moons that kind of float around in my field of vision in both counter and clockwise directions. And even if I blink, I still notice them. Another condition that is also tends to be caused by RP are cataracts. So I have this kind of foggy vision with the cataracts, and combine this with the photophobia, with the light sensitivity already, and it can be pretty tough to see just anything in the daytime. Some people have a combination of both RP and hearing loss, and this is what's called Usher syndrome. If I had to say what the toughest thing about having RP is, it's the constant readjusting to your changing vision. If you compare it to someone who maybe lost their vision overnight, as tough and difficult as that is, that person knows that they would only have to make a major adjustment just once. I'm not saying that people who lose their vision quickly have it any easier. I'm just saying that the adjustment period for vision loss is likely going to be a lot longer for those of us who lose our vision over the years or even decades. A lot of us who go through vision loss go through the grieving process, and it just starts over again once you realize that you've lost even more vision. So it can be tough. I went from kind of a state of denial at first, thinking I still have enough vision to see, to the point where I was encouraged to use a cane or get some cane training or learn Braille, and I resisted. And it got to the point where, okay, maybe I do need something like that, because I kept tripping over steps, I kept walking into things. But I learned a few things. I don't have to fight it. I could accept the condition, but I could also accept that, you know what, life isn't over. I can still film videos. I'm filming this video right now, even though I'm making a bit more of an extra effort with my eyes to do so. Even though I still have quite a bit of remaining vision, I'm realizing that I have to ration it. I'm trying not to strain my eyes so much, because then I start getting migraines because of it. This is why I'm so glad to be using stuff like screen readers and audio books and audio descriptions in movies, etc. Is it scary knowing that I may eventually lose more vision? It is, I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, I'm grateful for what I currently have, and I'm gonna make the best of what I do have. If I could summarize my RP experience in what I can see, I think my friend Sam from the channel The Blind Life says it the best in one of his t-shirts. It says, "I can see, but I can't." It's complicated. Now that I did one shout out, I want to shout out two other YouTube friends who also have RP. Matt from the channel To Billionaire, putting up always good stuff, educating you folks about RP and other things about visual impairment as well. And the other shout out is Cayla With A C. She also has RP. She's done her own videos talking about her RP experience, so definitely go check her out as well. So hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully you got just a little bit of education from this video. And if you're interested in the whole thing of trying to find a cure and treatment for RP and other retinal conditions, go to the website for the Foundation Fighting Blindness. I'm going to leave a link to them in the description below. And if you're interested in donating to them, then hey, by all means, it would be more than welcome for them. They're a good organization. So I forgot to record an outro for this video, and here it is. If you happen to like this video, then feel free to check out the couple of videos that are on screen right now, which you can click on. And if you happen to like those, then feel free to subscribe to my channel as well. Anyway, I will see you folks in the next video, and yep, I will talk to you folks next time.